You ever get a tarot card reading? I remember the first time I had one, I was kind of freaked out because I grew up as like a Christian and always was taught that anything occult was Satan. And I carried that around with me for many years. And I looked up, like, the word occult just means hidden. Basically, you can look it up yourself. So I got this tarot card reading, and it was oddly accurate. I was like, there's something to it. But then the person, the reader, was a bit of a charlatan, and she tried to sell me these spiritual candles for like $750. She said they were going to be handmade just for me in Israel, but I could come back tomorrow for my consultation. I'm like, well, if they're being handmade in Israel, how are you gonna get them here by tomorrow? Anyway, I didn't go back for the spiritual candles, but I did start studying tarot. And tarot is not necessarily supposed to be used. Its original intent was not for fortune telling. It is basically, there's the 22 cards in the major arcana, which is representative of a lot of things, but there's also one of the Hebrew letters associated with each card. And basically, my understanding at this point is that it's kind of an application of the power that you have in life. So I'm gonna just pull a random card here and see what I get. Ah. The devil. That's kind of funny. So the devil is number 13 or number 15 of the major arcana. Now, what's interesting about this card is that there's a man and there's a woman that are chained to the devil. But if you look at the chains around their neck, they're not really chained. Either one of them could easily lift up the chain around their neck and just walk away. So that's kind of interesting. And when I first saw this card, it scared the shit out of me, but it doesn't actually represent the literal devil. What it represents is, my understanding is that it represents our attachments and the things that hold on to us. And because we're basically applying, it's all about thinking. It's all about how we perceive things and how we interpret things in our daily life, and our beliefs are what holds us. A good example of that is, so I vape, and it's funny because I used to make fun of guys who vaped. I had a few choice words, adjectives, I guess, that I used to describe them. And I smoked, and then one of my friends was like, man, just try vaping, you'll quit smoking. I'm like, sure. So then I started vaping, and before I'd only smoke a couple cigarettes a day, and then with this vape, you can hit the thing like all day long, every day. So that's where I'm at with it now. But I'm to the point now to where I'm like, okay, I want to quit this stupid habit, but I can't. It's hard because of my belief. And I believe that I am going to be uncomfortable, and I will be uncomfortable. And if you really get down to it, any kind of addiction, other than its physical properties, because you can definitely get physically addicted to anything pretty much. Well, you can make a case either way, but it's definitely some kind of a psychological dependence. We'll just leave it at that. And the problem is, I think, how am I going to feel without this? So like this morning, I left work and I left my vape at home, and then I got down the street, started on the main road to work, And then I just started freaking out, and I turned back around and I came back and got my fucking vape. Because I was afraid. It's all about fear. I was afraid of being the void, feeling empty, because this fills some kind of hole in my soul and in my life and in my mind. And I worry that I'm going to be the hole in the donut without it. So I've been down this road before a few times with smoking and with some other addictions in my life, and this one's no different. This one's actually, I think, one of the hardest ones, because it's not like you get locked up for vape rehab for, you go to detox for a week, and then you go to vape rehab for 28 days, and then you go to vape meetings and you're sober from vaping. I mean, I guess you could do that, but most people don't. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone doing that, although I'm about ready to give that a try. So you gotta embrace the fear. Fear is the void is what you need to embrace. I need to embrace. So I'm gonna try embracing the void and stepping into the discomfort, because I know for a fact that at the end of the day, the void is the gateway to freedom. Facing that fear, and then once you get into it, you realize, like, oh, I actually feel better. And then it just becomes a habit of not doing it. And you're like, I feel better. And then you put some time under your belt, and next thing you know, you're free from it. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, but I hope if that helps just one person, I think this kind of nonsense babbling video will serve its purpose. But right now, vaping is my devil. Got that chain around my neck, but all I have to do is just lift it off and walk away. Wish me luck.